Welcome back to Creative Gaming. In the last episode, I started a dice challenge for Megaman X2. I'm rolling an 8-sided die which decides my levels. If I roll to a level I've already completed, I do have the choice to return to that level or just roll again. A game over does not allow me to change levels. However, I am allowing myself one cheat or reroll if things get too tough. When there's one maverick left, I don't roll for that last maverick. I am allowed one final roll after all the mavericks are defeated for a stage revisit, and that's it. After that, it's on to the final levels. I first rolled a 4 for Magna Centipede stage, then I rolled Wheel Gator, then Crystal Snail, and finally Bubble Crab. So 4 down, 4 more to go. Let's roll. I roll a 4 again. 4 is the Magna Centipede level. I do have the choice of going back there or not, but I think it's pointless for me to go back. I can't get any new items, so I'm just gonna roll again. Five. Okay, a 5. 5 takes me to Overdrive Ostrich. So this is a pretty fun level. Again, there's a secret here, but I didn't notice which levels DX Hunters went to. Okay, so he's not here. Let's proceed. So this jet bike thing is pretty fun, although you don't want to slam into any walls, because if you can make it to the end, you can get a heart tank. Oh damn, I got that much height on that thing? I didn't have much further to go. This is a big problem. The checkpoint is right here, so if I die, I can't try again. You need the jet bike to get that heart up there. Though there is another important item I can get right now. Here I get the Dash Boots upgrade. With this, you can dash from the air, which is really useful. I wonder if I can get the heart tank with this. Nope. Damn it. If I want that heart, I'll have to get a game over and start the level over again. I really want that heart because I don't know how many more I can get in this challenge run. The boss is through that door, but if I beat the boss, I'll have to change stages, and I might never roll to this level again. Alright, all those extra lives down the drain. Oh damn, now the X-Hunter has appeared in this level. I just can't catch a break. So this one is Violin, probably the most difficult of the X-Hunters. Him and Surges are difficult for different reasons. Violin has a giant spike ball that hits for a lot of damage. There are 2 or 3 different patterns to it. It's pretty darn fast and you need quick reactions to get out of its trajectory. His weakness is the Bubble Splash, but you have to get close to him to use it. So it's up to you if you want to use your regular X-Buster or the Bubble Splash. Ah shit, he got me. Trying again here. Alright, I got you now. So I have managed to get all of Zero's parts. When you get all these parts, you can actually skip a boss fight towards the end. In a way, it's a shame because Zero is actually pretty fun to fight. But this is a challenge run, so I do have to stack the deck in my favor. Though Zero is probably easier than the combination of these 3 X-Hunters. Trying again to get that heart here. Ah damn, why the hell did I crash there? Luckily I'm before the checkpoint so I can try again. Oh, why did it crash here now? And now I crash at the exact same spot as I did before. I don't remember this being so difficult to pull off. I'm gonna try again. Phew, this is starting to waste a lot of my time. At least we have the X-Hunters out of the way. Again! Okay, I got it now. You have to start turning around as soon as you hit the spikes, but good luck in pulling that off. I don't care, I just wanted the heart tank. Alright, I finally get to Overdrive Ostrich. He's not too difficult, but you want to try to stay on higher ground than him, since he often runs towards you and you need to dash jump over him. I do have his weakness weapon, the Crystal Hunter. Similar to Spark Mandrill Syndrome, when I hit him with this, he's always gonna jump into the air and release his slice projectiles. Oh, it's close. Ah, damn it. He's easy, but I guess I got a little arrogant there. I'll get you this time, you overgrown, undercooked chicken. There we are. Now I get his weapon, the Sonic Slicer. Phew, I was stuck in that level for a while, but now it's finally time to go somewhere else. Three. A 3 takes us to Flame Stag. A fun level with catchy upbeat music. You can step on these flying machines. Yay, I finally get an energy tank. Phew. You gotta be quick here to get the heart tank. The special door for the X-Hunters is up here if you need to go. Now I get to Flame Stag, another maverick that isn't too difficult. He likes to jump from one end of the screen to another. You're better off not moving too much. If you have the bubble splash, you reset his pattern, and he always throws his flame afterwards. And we're done here. So I only have 2 mavericks left, number 1 and number 2. Let's see where the die takes us next. Six is Bubble Crab, which I've already beaten, and I can't get any new items in this level, so I'm just gonna roll again. 1. Okay, so a 1 takes us to a Wire Sponge. It's funny how most of the Mavericks are usually animal types, but here we have a sponge. You can get a very easy heart tank up here. This is a type of weather control stage. I don't know if shooting these orbs actually does anything. The idea of a stage with changing artificial weather is cool, though the stage doesn't do that much with the concept. The rain pushes you back a bit, and that's about it. Yay, another energy tank. Now I get to Wire Sponge. He's pretty easy, especially with his weakness weapon, the Sonic Slicer. When you fight him with your X-Buster only, he has several invincibility frames, when he's twirling his hook or charging his thunder attack. The Sonic Slicer interrupts his twirling hook though, which is really convenient. And that's all she wrote. I never really liked the strike chain much. It's kinda pathetic, especially if you compare it to Samus's hookshot from Super Metroid, or even Link's hookshot from A Link to the Past. Alright, now I'm down to my last Maverick, so I don't have to roll for this level. So we're on to Morph Moth next. This stage is a garbage dump, literally. It's interesting how the B mini-boss from the first game seems to be trashed here. If you have the Crystal Hunter, you can freeze this enemy and access a heart tank up here. This stage has probably the worst secret in the game. The armor upgrade is down here, but how would you suspect that when you're just passing through? This isn't even the end of an area or a dead end, so you have to take a wild guess and use a spin wheel. The only way you'd find this out is if you used your eye tracer by accident, but then why would you use it in the middle stretch here? This armor is well worth it though. It slightly lowers the damage you take and converts it into energy to use the Giga Crash, a screen attack ability. This weird robot thing, the actual enemy is this red cricket thing. The green crickets are actually an interesting enemy. Sometimes you take damage if you hit them, but other times they'll stay on your head for a minute and tamper your controls. You might find yourself constantly shooting or dashing or jumping. Not a real threat, but it's interesting to implement this type of enemy. Now at Morph Moth. There are 2 phases to this battle. Strangely, he's inside his little cocoon for 2/3 of the fight. He only becomes the moth once he's down to 1/3 of his health. His weakness is the speed burner. There we go, not too difficult. Alright, so I've completed the 8 Mavericks. It'll soon be time to go to the final levels. But before I do, I am allowed to roll the die one last time for a final stage revisit. I would love to roll a 7 again. The arms upgrade is in Wheel Gator's level. Remember that wide jump that I couldn't pull off before? Well, now I can air dash as well as use the strike chain, so I would be able to get it. Am I lucky enough to roll a 7? One. Meh, I roll a 1 for Wire Sponge's stage. No help there. No use in returning to this level. So that's it. I'm barred from the regular levels now. I now have to go to the end of the game. Before I go, here's a reminder of the items I was able to acquire during this challenge run. I was able to get 7 of the 8 heart tanks, which is actually pretty good. I got 2 energy tanks out of the total 4 that exist. 2 should be enough for me to be able to complete this game. I got 3 X-Part upgrades out of the 4. I'm missing the arms upgrade, so I can't double charge my X-Buster or charge any special weapons. And I got all of Zero's parts, so I won't have to battle Zero before the final boss. So I'm not doing too bad. I got some decent rolls overall during this challenge run, and I didn't even have to use my cheat. So here we go. This first X-Hunter stage isn't too difficult. You kind of get standard challenges that you've already seen throughout the game. One difference is these enemies that close the walls on you. You have to be careful not to get stuck for too long on one side. Music theme is pretty catchy. Now I get to Violin Part 2, so the X-Hunters return in these stages with new moves and strategies. I find this version of Violin easier than when you face him in the stages. He makes some blocks appear, which is supposed to make the trajectory of his mace weapons more unpredictable, but you can kind of use them as shields and hide behind them. He still has the same weakness. If you use the bubble splash, you have to get closer to him, so it's just as viable just to use your X-Buster. Use whatever you're most comfortable with. And with that, Violin goes down once and for all. X-Hunter Stage 2. This stage is a little more annoying than the first, namely these moving platforms underwater that you have to get past. It slows the pace down, so parts of this level you can't rush. It's a good thing I have my dash boots upgrade here. This part would be more difficult. Trying to avoid the fire. Ah shit. I think I'm just gonna take the hits. I don't want to risk falling again. There's a white gap here. I don't remember what's on the other side. Oh, that's a very white gap. Oh crap, I'm way back at the beginning? I'll have to get through all this shit again. Maybe I can take advantage of invincibility frames. Ah damn, I wanted to dash jump there. Alright, screw it. There can't be anything that important there. It's not the location of the Shoryuken, the ultimate weapon in the game. God, I died there twice and I was just before the boss door. No middle level checkpoint. Now I get to the second battle with Surges. I hate this battle. It's probably the most annoying boss in the game. I should have just used my Giga Crush here to get rid of the cannons. This is a pretty erratic fight. You move up and down these platforms and it's sometimes difficult to get hits on Surges. I should have used my Giga Crush. I think Surges doesn't advance to the middle of the screen when you do so I would have more room to maneuver. And his shots scatter either vertical and horizontal or diagonally, but it's hard to pay attention to that, the moving platform, and Surges' movements. I have to use an energy tank here. Alright, I got him. X-Hunter Stage 3. Here's an example of how the strike chain sucks. It's supposed to bring that capsule to me, but as you can see here, it just fidgets around. You can also use it to pull yourself to walls, but again, it's not a great hook like you've seen in other games. But I do like this weird stage. The theme is oddly catchy too. This theme actually returns in Megaman X6. Ah, up there is a major secret. You can get the Shoryuken weapon up that way, but it's very difficult to get. First of all, you need to have every item in the game. Second, you have to charge the speed burner, which gives you an extra boost in your dash. Then you have to maneuver through spikes, which is pretty difficult to pull off. There's no point in me trying to go up there, since I don't have all the items, so the light capsule won't appear. But the Shoryuken is a powerful Street Fighter 2 type uppercut that can take even bosses down in one hit. You don't need to crystallize these enemies, but I'm doing it just for the hell of it. Now I get to Agile. This is an interesting fight. He drops down spiked ceilings, platforms which make the screen move up as Agile drops them. He can be challenging if you don't know his weakness weapon, but the magnet mine makes this battle super easy since 1, it's his weakness, and 2, you can direct it upwards. Agile is probably my favorite of the X-Hunters in both of the fights that he provides. Now I'm at the 4th stage. We've beaten the X-Hunters, but we're still fighting. What mysterious force could be behind all this? Here we get a rematch with the 8 Mavericks. Morph Moth. Wheel Gator is weak against the Strike Chain, but as I mentioned before, he'll usually retreat in the goo below if you hit him with it. So this battle kinda drags on whatever strategy you use. Wire Sponge, Overdrive Ostrich. Okay, now I'm well positioned. Playing soccer with Crystal Snail. Bubble Crab. Magna Centipede. Now I have his weakness weapon, the Silk Shot. This weapon can usually get rid of his tail, and he can't drag you towards him to steal your abilities. And finally, Flame Stag. So we learned that the mastermind behind all of this was Sigma. Big shock, I know. Strangely, we returned to Magna Centipede's computer stage. I guess that's where Sigma's data was stored. If you don't get all of Zero's body parts, you actually have to fight him here, which is actually a pretty cool fight, and a great epic theme to go with it. And here is Sigma. He uses claws as weapons this time. This is probably one of the easier Sigma battles. He moves fast, but he's not too difficult. Now we fight the CX4 chip version of Sigma. This looked cool for the time. Sigma's weakness is the Strike Chain of all things. He doesn't have a health bar, but he changes colors as you attack him. He can summon some enemies, and it can sometimes drop health capsules. Alright, I got him. This animation here always made me chuckle. Like, what is he doing here? Chewing gum? Up until this moment, we had very few connections to the original Mega Man series, but here Sigma drops interesting dialogue. He mentions that Zero was the last of a doctor's creation. This is pretty interesting because at the time, we were speculating if this doctor could be Dr. Light or Dr. Wily. I think most players know the backstory now, but at the time, this was the only connection we had, which left us wondering if the next sequels would provide more information. So the place blows up, we escape with Zero, and this challenge run is completed. So Mega Man X2 is definitely a great follow-up to the first Mega Man X game. People seem to remember the first game fondly, but for some reason they don't really talk about this second one. I think it's every bit as good, great action, colorful stages and enemies, the soundtrack overall is great. The special weapons are probably not as memorable as in the first game, but Mega Man X2 is still a fun time. Got anything to add, Negativio? You've been kinda quiet during this playthrough.
I was just watching. You did well.
Yeah, I failed the challenge of the first game, but I won the second one, so I'm 1-1 in the Mega Man X series.
I still say you should do the Mega Man X7 challenge.
Mega Man X7, ooh, hopefully the show won't last that long. So I'll be on to another game next episode, but give this challenge a try if you want, and keep gaming everyone.